And welcome back to my WWE review. We're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw. We're gonna talk about what happened on the show, the segments. I'm listening to the Bad Blood pay-per-view Fallout. Now I'm going to build up for Crown Jewels. As you guys can see, the show ended with Gunther and Cody Rhodes. We're gonna do champion versus champion for the Crown Jewel title at Crown Jewels. Um, hold on. All right. Oh wait. Oh come on, man, with the goddamn. Hold on. Ah, hold on now. Hold on. The goddamn remote is hold on now. Alright, here we go. Very sorry about that. My remote was freezing. Alright, now let's get back to Monday Night Raw. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think in the comments section, what y'all think about this video. My video is sponsored by Just Alex, JD from New York, Good Might Work Commentary, DQ, Fightful Wrestling. And you guys hit that like button. Alright, now let's go through everything here. Alright. I want to show you guys all the podcasts before I do my review here. Now, if you guys haven't seen the Bad Blood review, make sure you go back and see it. Superman and Lois. We know in the final season. Three bombs on first night back for 2 hours. We had the main event with Gunther and Sami Zayn, a great match. Jey Uso defended the IC title against Xavier Woods. Pete Dunne and Sheamus in a good, fast, and Donnie Book match. We did have a 10 woman tag team match. That was it. There were only 4 matches on the show. Only 4 matches. Drew McIntyre wasn't here. CM Punk was here. And then they teased Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Did one earlier on here, right? So this is the first one he's technically out for. So we kind of speculated during the match, during all the stuff that blood, that Punk is going to be so decimated after the match that he's going to have to miss a little bit of TV time. That would be great. Alright, now we're gonna show Fightful. Let's look at their review. Sean WhatsApp and Audrey Salcedo.
In terms of like the flow of the rundown of the show, like there were certain things that we got so many more pictures, and I don't know if that's how it's always been, but I definitely noticed it today. So I was just noticing a lot of movement, like even this, like in the first segment, we saw all of these people in like 15 minutes. We saw Sexy Red, CM Punk, Rollins, Jey Uso, all of that before we even got to the first commercial break. So you are noticing little tweaks here and there in terms of how they're putting down the show.
Guys, I'll encourage you to subscribe to FightfulSelect.com, but that's $5 $4 a year for business. You can also subscribe to other tiers where you have early access to interviews, but get news sent to you
to an area they don't have to break down.
2-hour Raw
because it's very dangerous. I've been assassinated a lot, and the first one was about
and perhaps some of the
you
reason
have to
why
protect
they're doing
the
this. So today on Fightful,
I want to be safe for my family and friends and for all my fans out there.
It was, and this isn't going to be the last one. They've got another one coming up, and then one after that. So they've got like 3 double tapings coming up. I'm about to go on the air at 7:57. There, Bischoff to give away all the results. Oh wait, we already do that on FightfulSelect.com. We got next week's rundown if you guys want it. But Denise, obviously, this was a bit of bonus time for WWE USA Network. They had to bridge the gap between October and January for the Netflix special. By the way, lots of news on the Netflix debut on Fight to Select. It will be at the Intuit Dome in LA. Enjoy that, Denise. I'm sure you won't be here that night.
I don't know. I depend. I might still be here because, bro, I don't want to go to the Intuit Dome. There's so much traffic.
Well, you can take a shuttle. You can take a shuttle there.
You think I'm gonna take the shuttle? You know what happens in those shuttles here?
I don't know. Stuff that broke bitches do. I don't know. But anyway, we reported that they're going to try to make it a big buzzworthy show. It's going to be in a beautiful new venue. But the 2-hour episodes of Raw, you can't double tape 3-hour Raw. It's not nearly as easy to do that. But this week they're in St. Louis, so they started at 7 local time. You can double tape 2-hour episodes of Raw. And they're going to have to do that as they've got 2 international tour legs and then the Saudi show coming up. And they like to get the Saudi crew over there much earlier. So we're going to have a lot more
And then
details
do my
on that.
belt.
We have
And
more
please.
details
Too
on
bad.
Netflix and
I
Raw.
told you to keep your mouth shut. Stop
But there was an interesting note that
me.
Triple H had this weekend. Because a lot of people were saying, oh, well, it's definitely going
I
back to
think
3
you're fucking
hours.
hell here.
I asked WWE what the SmackDown run time would be.
You understand, nigga? You know what I said, boy?
That indicated it might be
You know what I
3
said,
hours.
nigga?
They said, nope, it's 2. Then when I asked
You know what I
them,
said, nigga?
so Raw's going back to 3 hours, right? They didn't say anything. They didn't answer me at all of that. And usually, they want their programming notes well known. They want people to know how long their shows are. Go ahead.
That was my question to Triple H this past weekend at Bad Blood. I asked him about, Raw movie for the rest of the year being 2 hours, and then I asked what the duration of Raw is going to look like on Netflix. And Triple H said that when he finds out, he'll let everybody else know. So he kind of made it seem like that is still up in the air. So I guess just take his word for it for right now and see what happens. So that's the way they made it seem like it's still up in the air.
Yeah, and I think that is a situation that obviously they are going to probably sort of assess. Now, the one person that I spoke to said that at least their hunch was maybe it'll vary. Maybe sometimes it'll be like 3 hours, 10 minutes. Maybe sometimes it'll be 2 hours, 40 minutes. But one talent I talked to said, just hope it means our time doesn't get cut anymore. And oh boy, did we see the product of a 2-hour WWE Raw tonight. First off, I want to thank our moderator, Luis. He says, JM Miligrito says, I think I watched Monday Night ads instead of Raw. Oh, yeah. Pete Norman says, tonight felt like WWE punted, which Jaden Daniels doesn't do often. Got my first fantasy win thanks to Burrow and Chase Brown. Well, let me tell you, I'm still looking for the Bengals second win. And
I didn't have to, so you stop arguing and shut up. Next time you yell at her again and don't call her name, you can do me.
They had a world title match. They had Cody Rhodes on the show. They had Punk on the show. They had a Continental title match. They had a Donnybrook match. I didn't feel like they punted.
Good deal with me. I don't care if this. I can win this. Yell at her again and see what happens. You can give my belt and the comments.
It was a decent show. It just wasn't a newsworthy show. And I think we've gotten very used to coming after and being like, this is the big headline for the show. And followed by this.
You'll get out of the house. That's what you're
going to do. Whereas today's show, we got a lot of really good stuff. They're not super groundbreaking, but it was a decent show. And the main event I thought was phenomenal.
So, reminder, guys, leave a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Lots of cool stuff here at youtube.com/Fightful. That means an awful lot to us. But kicked off with Sexy Red. I am not a Sexy Red fan. I am not. It's not a.
You'd be a Sexy Red fan.
100% not a Sexy Red fan at all. And listen, I am not an anti-rap person. I love the Megan Thee Stallion song. I love Killer Mike, who they featured yesterday. Definitely, I am as far from a Sexy Red fan as you get, and I don't get it.
What I want to know is, for example, when there's other people that come in that I may not know about, but I know that they have fans that may want to go in and find out about the person. Here's my question: is Sexy Red bringing in any viewers? Legit. Like there are
Well,
people
I mean-
like, oh my god, I want to watch because Sexy Red is on. That's
Well,
my
not tonight
question.
because they didn't promote her, but I mean, like I'm sure there will be some people that share the clip and all that. I will say
I
this:
don't know if she's
whatever
as
song
popular as they think she is
she-
right now.
the rap station I listen to locally, it plays the song she did with Drake, "You My Everything." It is sincerely one of the worst songs I have ever heard in my entire life.
How does that one?
Like-
I know I've heard two
Oh
of her
boy!
songs.
Well, let me tell you, Denise, if you were to sing it right now, you would sing it better than her. And somebody's telling me she's from St. Louis. That makes sense. I
They
mean,
promoted her for NXT.
yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, like, and I get why you would have her on those shows, especially in that geographical area. But I mean, she's objectively a big star. I understand why they do it. But yeah,
I don't know, bro. It's been a long. You know me. I'm all up on these like Pop Crave websites. Let me tell you, I don't think I've seen.
for chat as well. But CM Punk cuts promo, and he says he really doesn't feel like he was winning that match, and said, you know, there's a lot of people I gotta thank. It's my fans and my haters.
Hope I
And
take-
to his haters, he
I'll
said,
probably
"Why
take
you
a few
doubt?"
weeks off.
And listen,
And I'll come
this
back
comes from a
tomorrow.
guy who spends a lot of time
And I
on his
hope I get rid
haters
of it.
on Twitter.
Seth Rollins.
CM Punk spends a lot of time on his haters and his Raw promos. Like, I mean, a whole lot. It is a lot. I saw Ibu post a thing on Wrestle Purist. He's like, man, if Dave Meltzer gives him 4.5 stars, CM Punk will come out and cut a promo about 4.5 something, and nobody will get it. Nobody will understand the joke, but he'll make the
Why
joke
not use the
regardless.
pre-show? We got a pre-show.
Punk
Why not use
says
that?
that he's going to take some time
At least
off.
we have
Doesn't
more
know
benefits.
when he's going to be back. I think it's pretty clear dude doesn't want to work Saudi, and I wouldn't want to either. After some of the things he had said about the Saudi Arabia shows, how did this promo come off to you?
Well, first of all, I wasn't even expecting to see CM Punk here tonight. If I'm going to be honest, I thought, oh well, you know, after Hell in a Cell, it's probably going to be a minute or two until we see either Drew or CM Punk, especially because we really didn't know. We didn't really have like a clear indication of what either one of those two guys is going to do next. Like, if you're asking me, like, what's Drew McIntyre going to do next? I have no idea what these two guys are going to do next, right? Well, at least up until today,
He's
we
got
didn't get to see.
16 staples in his head. We reported on Fightful.
Yeah, I saw that. It almost looked like he lost a bunch of hair just based off like the freaking the stitches how it looked in that photo. But no, that's the thing though. So we did get that tease with CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and I think like even though we had Seth Rollins kind of butt his nose into the feud with Drew and Punk, which to me I still don't think was really needed, but whatever, fine, whatever. We already got it. Move on from that. But we still never have gotten the full implosion of CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And so I don't know if they're going to kind of put a pause on that and wait until we get a little closer to WrestleMania to maybe rebuild that back up, you know, light a fire under that story once again so that maybe we can get the WrestleMania match that we were supposed to see at 40 happen at WrestleMania 41 instead. So we'll see what they do there. But I feel like right now, that kind of feels like the direction we might go into. I'm wondering if we're gonna get that Ethan Page CM Punk match. I thought for a second that we might see it, and then I thought, oh, it's not gonna happen. And then later again in the night, I thought it was gonna happen, and then now I'm thinking it's not gonna happen again. So I've kind of gone back and forth on that. But right now, with Seth moving on to the Bronson Reed stuff, that gives them some time until CM Punk comes back and they can again relight the fire there with Seth and CM Punk once we get into WrestleMania season.
So Seth did come out and faced off with CM Punk and said, "Get well soon. That way you can come back and I can whip your ass and retire you for good." And he maniacally laughed, which I did like. The Punk thing is very clear they were writing him off for a little bit, but Will says, "Love that Seth talks about Cody teaming with Roman." I mean, it's just good to see Seth back first off, but this is what I like on these 2-hour shows. Seth Rollins comes out, and even though we don't see Bronson Reed, we hear about Bronson Reed. So his storyline advances. And that's how I feel like WWE is going to have to get a little bit more creative on Raw with the roster that they have. you can't feature everybody every week, and you're not going to. I mean, later on we saw Judgment Day show up and then leave, but you'll have to get a little bit creative with that. What do you think of how they advanced this, so to speak, with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed?
Right, they did a lot here because it was okay. Seth comes out, he has that stare down with CM Punk. That's one. He goes into the ring and he addresses Bronson Reed. Okay, that's two. We already knew that one. Cool. And then Jey Uso comes out and is getting ready for his match, but during that time, Seth Rollins just doesn't, disappear into thin air. No, he stays there in the ring and has this little moment there with Jey Uso. So to me, I take that as three. To me, that was a tease right there. So I feel like in that short period of time, they kind of indicated to us like, hey, this might be happening, this might be happening, this is definitely happening. And so that was one of the things that I noticed in terms of the flow of the show was how they kind of had a couple of things overlapping to give you a little bit more substance in the storytelling and the feuds that we're going to be seeing, but also not completely giving things away and then moving at a faster pace.
CC Bonbon says atmosphere in the press room when Triple H was asked that question.
Oh, this was me. Because I was sitting down recording and something like I tweeted stuff and then I heard the question. I was like, who? Bam, start recording with my phone. I don't got time to wait to get home and click this shit out.
But then you keep your mouth shut. And you keep your mouth shut. I just had to stop arguing. I just had to stop arguing. Hey, don't give me attitude. I just had to, so you must keep your mouth shut. Stop arguing. Let's argue again. You gotta deal with me, my belt, and the cops. So let that thing go. Oh, that will happen. And that's a promise. I don't hear your excuses or your paranoia bullshit.
Are once again
Real paranoia bullshit. Yeah, you are afraid, you motherfucker.
They are probably in the ring wrestling right now in the next set of tapings.
This ain't your fucking woman either.
Bit of spoilers here. They're going to announce a tag team contender tournament on Raw for next week. Glad to see that. But backstage, you see Karrion Kross talking to Miz, who says, "I'm not a part of Final Testament, by the way." Karrion Kross is like, just hear us out a little bit.
Okay, you're gonna deal with me.
R-Truth
show. You think I'll play with you?
And R-Truth is like, "Hey, man, just so you know, I'm not a part of Judgment Day anymore. You didn't have to attack me." And somehow even I was surprised that R-Truth did this. And then he's like, "Wait, you did that on purpose? Like it's so far beyond R-Truth this happened." And he goes, "Don't worry, man. I'm gonna go to Adam Pearce and get a match set up for you," which is why Miz turned on him to begin with. And Miz flipped out.
You think I'm playing with you? You're gonna get your ass.
How'd you feel about
You're gonna get your ass. Well, you didn't
I rather enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot more than I'm gonna enjoy the match.
Yeah, so next week R-Truth versus the Miz. Yeah, that's gonna be whatever it is. But no, R-Truth was pretty funny in this. I'm really trying to not let this
Oh, I will beat your
Here's
ass.
the thing: we're talking about a
Gonna get you back.
2-hour
No, go
show
up there and
right
show.
now, which means
Go up
that
there and
you
show.
better
Think
be
I'll play with you?
putting
You're
the
not
most
fucking glowing.
finest storytelling you possibly can, right? Kind of eliminate some of the things that you're not really all that invested in. And so, to me, I just feel like there's better things that you can do on the show than spending 30 seconds with a sexy red intro and seeing this feud here with R-Truth and The Miz. It's just not doing anything for me. I know why they're doing it, of course. They have to, I get it. But I just feel like there's other things on the show that could probably just be more interesting than what we're getting here. This feels like really this doesn't feel like the quality of the program. It doesn't match the quality of the program with everything else we're getting. So I'm trying, Sean, to not completely hate this. I'm trying, but it's not really doing anything for me. Okay? It's
I'd
not.
say I thought that this team was good for the moment of winning the tag titles. And had they won or lost them on the Raw following WrestleMania, I'd have been like, cool, we saw the moment, that's fine. I definitely didn't need a multi-month run. I definitely didn't need a big split. Just didn't need it. Just did not need it. Raquel is driving Dominic and Liv. Tatum says, "Sean, if Tiffy catches
So you keep your mouth
Nia
shut.
Liv match,
I don't have to. You shut your mouth.
Brett, what happens?"
You think I'm
Well,
playing
would
with you?
one or
Told you I'm
both
not
of the
playing with you.
titles become
I
on the
would be
line,
your
and would
ass.
one
We'll
of the
call the
champions
police. You can deal
potentially
with that.
win the
Oh, I
other
will. That is a
continuing the
promise.
new belt too?
So,
So
so I
you're
dare you.
saying
Argue with
she
her
can
one more
come
time.
away with the
Try and get
championship?
her in her
She
face.
can come away with 3
You
championships?
get in her face again. You call her name. You
That
gotta
is
deal
a
with me. My belt.
fantastic
With this
question.
belt.
That is a
My belt and the
phenomenal
cuffs.
question, and I hope
I'll
they
make
bring
sure of
up.
that.
And a little spoiler that Fight the
Go
Select.
deal with your family. See
Tiffany
the one deal
Stratton
with
is at
you.
the Raw tapings right now. She's going to be on the show next week.
Are they going to tease
Kata.
that she
Already
might
called
have?
him on.
They might do a segment where they tease that she's actually going to come for Liv, just to
We
kind of
already
spook
called
Liv
him
a little
on.
bit.
Well, yeah, I mean they definitely are because
What?
next week
Think I'm
is.
playing with you?
I mean, listen, we just if you watch this show, you know what we do.
That's
You gotta
okay.
keep your fucking mouth shut.
Rhea and Stratton against Liv and Raquel is the plan for that show
Wait, say that again. Rhea and Stratton.
versus Liv and Raquel is the plan for that show.
Oh, tag team match.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only way is if they say for this match, out of respect to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, you can't cash it in. You know what I mean? Like
No, that's no, because look here. Okay, think about it. If you're Tiffany Stratton, if I'm Tiffany Stratton, if everybody here in the chat is Tiffany Stratton, wouldn't you want to cash in where you can get the most money?
Yes.
It's like when you go to Vegas,
You found
you
out.
cash
Baby.
out when you get the most amount of money. That's what it feels like if you're Tiffany Stratton. I'm gonna go in
You
and
found
cash
out.
in where I can get the most out of my bang for my buck. And that's
It is-
I didn't even know that. I didn't even think about that. Now I feel like she has to. or else
I mean
it
that
feels
is
like she left a lot of money on the table.
a brilliant question, and it's something I hope they got it brought up. Andy, I am very sorry. I will not do any more spoilers.
Yeah,
I
me too.
apologize.
I'm mad too, Sean. Because I wasn't expecting it either, and I have no option to cover my ears.
DJ Rocco says Liv equals Sean, Raquel equals Big Mommy, Cool Diesel. Yeah, I feel like that one successful version has been overdone.
Why the fuck you
an awful lot.
I think that's
But and I see somebody saying Tiffany Stratton should be a babyface. Tell the crowd that, buddy. Tell the crowd that. The crowd loves it.
Is there a chance? Now, am I crazy? Please tell me if I'm going too extreme. But do you think that Dominic is gonna like start falling for Raquel and move on from Liv to Raquel?
I hope.
Because he did it to Rhea, so wouldn't he do it to Liv?
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course he would.
That's what I'm saying. What if that's just Dom's thing? He just
Yeah.
goes from woman to
Anybody who
woman
gives
to
him a
woman.
Judgment Day or not, I mean, I think she would.
She was
Obviously,
wearing black.
yeah.
She always wears black.
Yeah.
She had the shades on. Maybe that makes her a little bit more serious. I actually liked her with the shades. She was just standing there being all.
From NordVPN, change my virtual location back to Kentucky. There was nothing for me to get into for this match
Wait,
because
which match are we on?
Xavier Woods losing to Jey Uso for the Intercontinental title. Because during the match, and we'll talk about what happened after, during the match, this was the first indication of, 2-hour WWE Raw. This is what we're getting. We're going to get the entrances. We're going to get about a minute of action. We're going to get a 3-minute commercial. They'll come back and do
At all, because I just can't get into to it at all. But anyways, I mean, really, the only thing to really get into about this is what happened afterwards, and I feel like it was pretty predictable, and it's a slow move, right? They're moving slowly with this Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. It's becoming a story that I think a lot of people are engaged in. I know it's one of the most interesting things on Raw right now, but yeah, they're slowly working their way there, and I thought the ending was pretty predictable with Xavier Woods denying Jey Uso the handshake. That was and then you know what happened after that. I did like what happened after that too. But
Also,
Xavier Woods denying the handshake was good.
It's been announced that Jey Uso will be at NXT tomorrow night, by the way. So Kofi Kingston shakes Jey Uso's hand. Xavier Woods doesn't want anything to do with it. And Braun Breaker runs in and hits a spear on Jey Uso. I like this approach for Braun Breaker where he was respectful last week, not this week. The reality is, man can do whatever the hell he wants, Denise. Braun
weird
Breaker's great.
Kofi. And then the Braun Breaker thing, I was completely thrown. I was not expecting this whatsoever because last week he made his peace with Jey Uso. He came out there and he said, and Spears Jey Uso. To me, that was pretty fun because they basically told us like, "Wow, you shouldn't trust Braun Breaker."
So I was like, man, is this one gonna side? Jesus, Howard Christ, that was an incredible spot.
Self fucked up. But here, look, Sean. To me, going into this, I have been feeling like Pete Dunne has been on a slow rise. Sometimes he kind of goes back down the ladder. Anyway, so he's been, going back up, and he has been doing, Raw and NXT, did some stuff on NXT simultaneously the last couple of months. So
did that. But I am a little conflicted now. It is going to be one of those. I'm going to wait and see how this.
Well, great match, but now I'm kind of
SmackDown. I've never seen this.
Ethan Page is backstage. He meets with Adam Pearce. Ava is there, of whom CM Punk took it upon himself to be special ref and cost him his title. And Adam Pearce, Ava was not a lot to this, but I was happy to see it. I was so happy to see it.
Yeah, and I thought this was going to serve a purpose. I thought we were going to get some sort of indicator of like, maybe we are going to see Ethan Page and CM Punk down the line. But no, it was interrupted by Sexy Red.
Oh yeah,
I did like what she told him though. I did.
Shared her reaction, but what was the reaction in the room like?
Everyone was just silent. I would, in having that kind of title, I would try to, think of something to say that and have other people maybe help me prepare like a proper statement to like address that properly. So, just to make it easier because you are representing the company. And so, yeah, it was one of those things where I think the second when you said, I don't see color, that was the moment where I knew like.
Into account. And he elaborated on how there was the old territory rule of to be here, they should be like, no, I'm the shit. Select.com.
It was predictable. Everybody went in, had one spot, and then by the time we knew it, the match was over. But there were some good moments in this time. We weren't really seeing them do stuff like this.
On Rhea Ripley. I'll tell you why after we hear. Whoa! A lot of the other guys
crossed the plane in time, but
and honestly, this.
I was really excited as this match got going because this show was just cooking along. I love when shows just go fast like this one was. But this was where the commercials got me. I feel like we missed.
With Google Works. Yeah, eBay.
frozen over with Cody teaming with Reigns, and he makes mention of Kevin Owens punching Cody, but we're not supposed to.
Dogs that have emerged before is that they're very good at setting these lines, but to see it again.
Let's see what JD from New York has to say.
grounded takes. Some people are simply engagement farming, don't know right from wrong, don't know up from down, don't know apples from oranges. Some of these people don't know anything. All I heard today was, I don't want Monday Night Raw to move to 2 hours. It should stay a 3-hour show. It needs to remain 3 hours. This is a mistake. I don't know why you want 2-hour Raws, JD. Or in the social media geeks voice, what? I don't know what they did. Well, asking for a 3-hour Dynamite. And we all know that shouldn't happen. That's all I heard today. Why do you want Monday Night Raw at 2 hours? It should remain 3 hours. This is a mistake. This roster needs 3 hours. Blah, 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 blah. I may look it. Have been with Monday Night Raw since day one.
The belt. I was surprised so many people hated the the rule or the way they promoted this, because it's what we used to get in Survivor Series anyway. But now they added a little bit more stakes to it. It's less of an exhibition. But how did you feel? I know that you hate everything, even though people think you love everything.
I don't even know what to say. All right, well, where do I begin? Well, because there was the whole thing that they had said there was going to be a historic announcement, right? So there is one element of this that I like. I like the element of seeing champion versus champion. Champion versus champion, I think is cool. It's just very hard for me to care about the Crown Jewel Championship per se, because it really feels like, okay, the powers that be over in Saudi Arabia were like, we want something special just for us because we're paying you guys a bunch of money, so make our shows feel a little extra special. And here, let's make this Crown Jewel belt that is literally the size of JD McDonough's head.
And they've done this for a while, Denise. Greatest Royal Rumble, the best in the world, that type of stuff. They've done this a few times.
Right, but it's just like it feels, I don't know how to say it. It's hard to say that I care about the belt. I'm looking forward to champion versus champion, and I more so care about who gets the loss and who doesn't. I care about the 1, 2, 3. Who's gonna get it? That's what I care about. I don't care about the championship belt. I don't care about the Crown Jewel Championship belt. I care about, it was Gunther going to defeat Cody, or Cody going to defeat Gunther, because whoever wins, it's like, damn, you're going to be the dominant champion. That's going to say a whole lot. That's what I care about. I don't care about the championship belt. I care about who's 1, 2, 3. That element I do like, champion versus champion.
We have hit the home stretch. We are at the main event, guys. Get your super chats in. Get your humper chats in. Please leave us a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. And as always, subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. Gunther defeated Sami Zayn clean. No Goldberg. Thank God. I was so worried about it. So worried that Goldberg was going to show up and hit a spear on Gunther and Zayn wins. All due respect to Cody and Zayn, I want to watch Cody versus Gunther at Crown Jewel. I'm excited to see that match. That's a match that I figured could be a WrestleMania match. But it's like, how long is it going to be before they can do that WrestleMania match? So why not do it now?
Wait, so I have a question.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm a little slow right now.
Anyway,
so hold on.
Gunther beat Sami Zayn. If you don't have the question.
Cody wins the Crown Jewel Championship, right? But then let's say he loses his title. Is he still Crown Jewel champion until the next Crown Jewel?
It's basically just a trophy. It's like an honorary trophy. It seems like it's going to be annual. But I would love it if he lost the world title and The Rock's out there making fun of him and Cody just whips out his Crown Jewel Championship like The Rock did with his dumbass People's Championship.
So then if it's a trophy, that means each winner would get a new Crown Jewel belt, or does it like get passed around?
Yeah. New one each time, I believe. I will say, though, The Rock bringing out his own title belt reminds me of like when I worked on shindy shows. And people would bring like replica belts, and we were like, a guy got kicked off a show because he brought a winged eagle title and tried to say that
I
he's
know I
going to
had to
defend
keep
on the
your mouth
show.
like
And
that.
there, imagine that.
You
Imagine
don't
a
think I
shit
will? There's
in
no one to blame but
Kentucky being
yourself.
like, no,
You're the
you
one
are
that started the
too
argument. I had to shut
shitty
you
for
up.
us. You
I had to shut you
can't
up.
do this. And
You don't
like
think I'll whoop
we
your
were
ass and
sitting
call
there
the
in
police?
disbelief, like,
And I will.
what are,
To say you're fucking hell.
what are you doing? And like none of
You
us,
think I'm
like
playing with you?
the 15 of us, we couldn't believe it. And The Rock is just strolling in with his title belt.
Where my
Like
father's
he won
secretary?
it.
Is the shindy a shit indie?
Yeah, that's it.
All
That's
right,
it.
just making sure.
Tony says, thank you both for fostering safe spaces to discuss wrestling. You both are wonderful. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. So, and again, always, that's the kind of audience we want for Fight to Select. But Gunther defeats Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn came close. There was a spot that I don't mind. It's the power bomb, clothesline, power bomb, and get kick out at one. There's going to be a whole lot of people
that don't breathe. 3-hour Monday Night Raws need to stay. If the show is booked correctly, it doesn't matter what the show. We got posed. I don't know what went wrong. The fact that this show was commercial night Raw, the fact that Saudi Arabia's got Crown Jewel, and there's legitimately zero storyline aspect to anything going into that show. Maybe a little bit, but not much because WWE is going to be focusing on the Survivor Series. WWE needed to come out and hit a home run tonight for 2 hours, and they fucking bombed. They bombed. Terribly. I don't know what else to say.
I agree.
Everybody asking for 3-hour Raw is simply crying because you don't know any better. Fact, and more fact. You're all crying because you don't know any better. You weren't there watching Monday Night Raw from the beginning. You weren't there during the fucking absolute torturous, just absolutely horrid, nightmarish days of 3-hour Vince Raws. You were not there when Triple H booked a 1-hour NXT show on the WWE Network that was better than anything at 2 or 3 hours. So spare me your bitching and your crying about 3 hours where it needs to be 3 hours. It doesn't. It needs to be good. Tonight wasn't good. That's it. That was it. The show felt rushed tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't like the direction that they took tonight. I don't. Everything felt rushed. Jey Uso just won the Intercontinental Championship 14 days ago. He defended against Xavier Woods tonight. Most of the match took place in a fucking commercial. We got a little bit of a sequence. They got to picture-in-picture. Nobody watches the picture-in-picture. Spare me the bullshit. I get up and I go do something else in the fucking living room, or I go into the kitchen and get myself a fucking coffee. Come back, the match is fucking over. Picture-in-picture is not watching a wrestling match. Picture-in-picture is nothing more than a fucking cheap excuse to keep the action going, but it's in a small box and you don't hear anything related to the fucking show. It's still a commercial. If I gotta hear commercials instead of Chuck Tessitore, then I'm not watching Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso versus Xavier Woods felt like it started and then it was over. Rushed. Did they play out an angle at the end of the show? Sure. But you advertise a major title defense, the first title defense for Jey Uso since winning the title, and you rush through it to get to a groundbreaker segment, and Xavier Woods refusing to shake Jey Uso's hand. Goodbye. What is the urgency to include every single woman on the show because you're at 2 hours in an 8-woman tag team match? I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what people have been saying online, the lack of attention that people are paying in the venues every single week. Nobody cares. Legitimately, I promise you, no one cares. But you gotta put them on the show, all 8 of them, because there's no spot for any of them unless we put them all together. Oh, nobody will complain. All 8 of them will be on the show. Yeah, you may think that's you saving your ass from the online criticism. Then we get the main event. Sami, Zayn, and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is a big deal. This is a big match. Sami, for 4 straight weeks, has been asking Gunther, why aren't you giving me a championship match, bro? Are you scared of me, bro? Why are you a coward, bro? I sound like my guy Vince Russo, bro. Why? 4 weeks. 4 weeks. That's the way you pay it off tonight? You blew through Sami Zayn and Gunther already twice, and I don't really give a shit to see it again. First was at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, which was a great match. This match actually had better story going into it than the one at WrestleMania did. And this match felt like another match that they put on the card to let everybody know that tonight's Raw at 2 hours has a big main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. Meanwhile, I had to sit through, what was it, Jesse? 7 minutes, 8 minutes of fucking commercial? Sure, they were in picture-in-picture, but again, a picture-in-picture does not constitute as it being okay. It's more significant on the PLE. I gotta sit through a Gunther fucking match that's fucking riddled with 7 to 8 minutes of commercial. They just got back from commercial, and within 90 seconds, we go to another commercial. If I need car insurance, I'll go ask somebody else instead of Sony Bravia 65-inch. First you leave off Gunther, off the bad blood card, then you put him in a match that's riddled with 8 minutes of commercial. Gee, no wonder why people were dissatisfied with this fucking show. It's fucking ridiculous. 3-hour Monday Night Raws are supposed to be a thing in the past, at least for the next 3 months. I felt like I watched 3 hours of fucking commercial in a 2-hour Raw. Why? Why? Everybody says, oh, but Gunther and Sami was a great match. What the fuck did you watch? I watched commercial. What the fuck did you watch? Yet there are people out there that will exclaim to me, they will fucking sit there and argue with me that Gunther and Sami did not belong on the pay-per-view. Bullshit. Bullshit. Everybody with 20/20 vision, good eyesight, and hearing. You can tell that bad blood outside Punk McIntyre and outside that main event. The middle of that show was fucking boring.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't understand why would you not have gone to defend it on the pay-per-view instead of hyping up the Crown Jewel Championship and an ugly title and teasing a Bill Goldberg match going after Gunther. Are you freaking kidding me?
Boring.
Yeah.
Was it bad? Listen, man, you're not gonna sit there and tell me it was bad when we've seen when we sit through and been through fucking the worst of the worst. Was it good? Questionable. Questionable. But there's no excuse for what happened on Saturday coming on into Monday. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the issue lies, but Saturday coming into Monday, you may clip it. For all the fucking people that say I'm not negative towards WWE and I'm a big nose Triple H cocksucker and all these memes, clip it. You fucking won't clip it because you're a bunch of fucking pussies. Clip it. Because I know you're fucking watching me. Saturday coming into Monday, the 2-day stretch that we see. This is the worst stretch that WWE's put on in 2024. Clip it. Clip it. You won't. I'll fucking clip it for you, bitch. Ridiculous. Set it on Sunday morning. Sat down after I got done with a great stream on Saturday. Sat down on Sunday. Had myself some apple crumble for breakfast. What's Randy going to say? Why did Kevin do what he did? Is The Rock going to be there? We're going to get an explanation. What's the 3 fingers for? What does Cody have to say? Is Roman going to be there? There's a lot going on right now. More so than on Monday, believe it or not. But I said it on Saturday, said it on Sunday morning. Again, WWE and their PLEs, 5 matches. Nobody has a problem with the 5 matches. Nobody. If you do, you're brainwashed. If you do, you're probably an AEW dick rider who doesn't know the fucking difference between quality and quantity. Nobody wants to sit there and watch a Tony Khan fucking circle jerk for 15 fucking matches at 6 hours. Nobody gives a fuck. 6 hours, by the way, that don't breathe. We end one match and the next guy's walking down the fucking aisle while the competitors in the ring that just wrestled are leaving the fucking ring. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants it. Nobody asks for it. Tony Khan has this fucking thing where he needs to get as much pro wrestling on one show than anybody. Nobody has a problem with the 5 matches. It's what you put into the 5 matches. This was very apparent on Sunday, following Bad Blood. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you think of how I operate. I have always been 100% upfront and honest with you. If you want to call me racist, if you want to call me sexist, if you want to call me anything that your heart desires, it all comes from a good place because all I care about is a good fucking show at the end of the night. Saturday barely crossed the line of being good, and you can thank Punk and McIntyre for it. There is absolutely zero, and I mean zero fucking reason why Nia Jax and Bayley are on that pay-per-view. Zero. There is absolutely zero reason why Finn Balor and Damian Priest are on that pay-per-view. Zero. Nia Jax and Bayley could have been saved for Friday. Either the go-home show or the show following the pay-per-view. Finn Balor and Damian Priest had no championship on the line. We got the fucking win by Damian Priest. His battle with the Judgment Day is all but over. We got interference as per usual with the Judgment Day, and they went 11 minutes. You couldn't do that 11 minutes on Monday Night Raw? That's what you kept Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Gunther off the pay-per-view for. I'm even going to include Sheamus and Pete Dunne because that's been a feud that's been great on Monday night. You left off 3 of those matches for Nia fucking Jax and Bayley, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Glorified television matches. Nobody in that company realized what they were doing. You look at that card and say, yeah, man, that's it. Yeah, let me charge $900 a ticket. Come out there and gloat that this is the largest selling arena show in WWE history again for the 5th fucking time this year. And then give me something that was less than premium. I think we need to go back and reassess. That's what we need to do. If you didn't have Punk and McIntyre to open the fucking show and give us a performance of a lifetime, I'm not really sure you can get away with calling it premium. Because it's not. If you're going to deliver a pay-per-view, because that's exactly what it is, and call it a premium live event, you better fucking make it premium. Nia Jax and Bayley are not fucking premium. Damian Priest and Finn Balor and the fucking middle-of-the-road feud that they got going on is not fucking premium. Sami Zayn and Gunther didn't need to be riddled with fucking 8 minutes of commercials. That is premium. That should have been on Bad Blood. Braun Breaker and Jey Uso, that doesn't need to be on Monday Night Raw with fucking 8 minutes of commercial. That is premium. Sheamus and Pete Dunne. I'm even going to mention my guy Andrade and Carmelo. They don't deserve a pay-per-view match after the fucking work that they've given us 6 times. And what about my guy LA Knight? Why isn't he on a pay-per-view when he's one of the biggest baby faces in the entire industry? Never mind WWE. He's not premium. Then people want to go out there and claim Triple H. They want to cry. All these problems that I've rose to and brought to your attention, that I'm raising awareness on. You know what the first question in the post-show media scrum is? Well, why isn't there enough black representation in WWE? Are you fucking kidding me? Out of all the problems in the fucking company, some of which I mentioned right here, that is your first question to Triple H. Man, oh man, does the community have their priorities all fucked up?
I think I'm playing with you. I do it hand so you shut your mouth and stop
Most of
arguing.
the champions in this company
There's no
are
one to blame
people
but
of
yourself.
people of
I
color.
told you keep your mouth. I told you stop arguing with her. Keep your mouth.
Carmelo Hayes is a future piece
You
to
think
the
I'm
company.
playing with you?
Alba
No, you're
Femi
not. You're
is a
counting.
certified main event guy waiting to break out. Yet everybody's claiming there isn't a person of color on the fucking show. That's not the biggest problem we have in WWE. It's the last 48 to 72 hours. That's WWE's biggest fucking problem in the company. Has nothing to do with who's on the show. Sometimes I hate being in this community, and sometimes I love being in this community. This week was one of the one times I hate being in this community. Some of these topics I have to say, they really get that rattled because it wasn't 3 hours. Were they unprepared? They knew this was coming for 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. Probably longer than that. Like now, because it doesn't make landfall until Wednesday. Is that a problem? We're going to try and break this thing down. He limped out. He had bandages on his arm, bandages.
Alright, now let me show you the Solomon there. They go to highlight them on Night Raw. Alright, FIFO, that was an hour. Let's see what Solomon have to say. Hold on. Now I'm going to show you guys the Solomon sound off. Let's see his channel. I'll only show a little bit, and then I'll get back to my review.
Of commercials and tried to condense them into a 2-hour television show. It was the equivalent of trying to shove 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag. That was Monday Night Raw tonight. You know, maybe their strategy, this could actually be genius on their part. Maybe their strategy is to make the show so unwatchable at 2 hours that when they go to Netflix and they're back to 3 hours, presumably in January, people are going to be begging for it. Like, oh, please go back to 3 hours. That could be their strategy. It's not going to work on me. I, for one, am very happy that Raw is back to 2 hours, even if it is only until the end of the year. But there is clearly going to have to be an adjustment period if this is the way it's going to be from now on, in terms of the formatting of the show and in terms of them just figuring out how to get Raw to a point where they can fit things they need to fit on the show without feeling that they have to fit everything on the show and rush through everything. Commercials can't be helped. I mean, that's a network thing, but my God, I mean, it just felt like way more than usual. He turned around every 5 seconds, and the show was in picture, or the show wasn't on the screen at all. I mean, it was way more noticeable tonight than it is on most weeks. But again, there's clearly going to have to be an adjustment here, because outside of the main event tonight, between Gunther and Sami Zayn, for the World Heavyweight Championship and the Donnybrook match between Sheamus and Pete Dunne, I thought this show sucked. This was easily one of the worst Raws that I have seen in months. And Raw has typically, not always, but typically been the #1 show of the week. You know, certainly, at least in terms of the WWE shows, SmackDown has just fallen off a cliff. And SmackDown was going through a hot period earlier this year. And even, I think, earlier in the summer, and then I don't know what happened. But SmackDown has not been any great shakes lately either. It's very inconsistent, very Jekyll and Hyde. But man, this was easily the worst Raw that I can remember in a very long time. Now, they are taping 2 episodes tonight because there's a UK tour next week. So as we speak, they're taping an episode of Raw that will air next week. Maybe that had a little something to do with the way that they formatted the show tonight. Very possible. But look, the thing is, I have seen plenty of fun, entertaining 2-hour WWE shows in my life. Most of their shows, except for Raw, are 2 hours long. NXT is 2 hours long. SmackDown is 2 hours long. So it's not like this is some new science that they have to figure out. I've seen plenty of great 2-hour shows. It can be done. It can be done. So I don't want to hear, well, you know, the show has to be 3 hours or else the show is going to be boring. No. If you don't like the show and you blame it on the fact that it was 1 hour shorter, then they must be doing something wrong. Because that is not a valid excuse. But yeah, this show tonight, this was not it. And you know, the other thing also to keep in mind here, combination of different things. Besides the pacing and besides the commercials, there was no Drew McIntyre on the show tonight. And Drew McIntyre, for the better part of the entire year, even going back to the end of last year, has consistently been one of the best parts of Monday Night Raw. Bronson Reed, ever since he took out Seth Rollins, he's been getting this push over the last couple of months. Bronson Reed, to me, has become a must-see attraction on Monday Night Raw because you never know what kind of chaos and shit they're going to involve this guy in. Him and Braun Strowman. None of these people were on the show tonight. Even the Judgment Day, which was kind of refreshing because they've been all over the show the entire year. They were nowhere to be found outside of very briefly Dominic and Liv showed up to the building and then they turned around and they left. But we didn't have our tag team champions, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. They weren't there. Damian Priest wasn't there. But there were a lot of big names that were not on the show. And in some of those cases, they are some of the names that honestly have been a part of how entertaining Raw has been now over the past several months. So people like Reed and McIntyre, you can see on Punk. I mean, he came out for a brief promo at the beginning, didn't have a lot to say, and then that was it. We didn't see him again for the rest of the show. So that also plays a role. You know, when you're missing some of your big names and not doing much with the other ones, that really doesn't help. Gunther and Sami Zayn, they saved this show. This was only their second meeting, their first since WrestleMania, when they had their match for the Intercontinental Championship. They had that great match there. Tonight, it was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Sami Zayn was attempting to do the one thing that he has not been able to do since he was called up to the main roster, which is win a World Championship. Now, this is a story that they really should take their time with and really let it play out until you get to a major PLE like a WrestleMania possible. May have been, it was the right call, and Gunther is still the World Heavyweight Champion, thankfully. And then we got a little face-off at the end of the show between the World Heavyweight Champion and the WWE Champion, because now they're setting up for the trophy belt at Crown Jewel, and we're going to get champion against champion brand warfare. The Saudi show is a month away. Could be some other opponent on that show. It's possible. The 22 and the 25. I appreciate that. There's a new one, by the way. If you check the description down below, you'll see there's a new $28 Yappa Pie inspired super chat, brother. So that's newly added to the list. He also wanted to thank those who don't like him at all. He said that there's a thin line between love and hate, and he's turned that hate into cash. So he thanks them. He looked into the camera and said that he doesn't know why they keep doubting him.
Alright, Mike, we'll get back to my review. Let's talk about the show. Let's talk about. We know that AEW Wrestle Dream, Saturday, October 12th, in Washington. I can't wait for that pay-per-view. Not sure about the review on it. I think I will. Alright, so let me show you what happened on Monday Night Raw. Here's the full recap. The backstage segment. James had Pete Dunne had congratulated the Banger Academy. Is that what James said? Gunther put down Sami Zayn in the world title match. A frustrated Xavier Woods sounds off on Kofi Kingston. The Miz is out to show R-Truth that Austin Truth is done. They did announce that next week we'll see Miz versus R-Truth. Jey Uso said Braun Breaker. I keep saying Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker is a liar. Liar Valkyria scored the win in the chaotic 10-woman tag team. Doesn't the best match? As they said, Sheamus and Bronson Reed was the best match. Sheamus hit Pete Dunne with a brogue kick while zip tied. He also hit the hot cross. That was the best thing on the show. Sheamus and Pete Dunne, Gunther and Sami Zayn was the best thing on this match. That was the best thing on the show. Now here's another segment. R-Truth explained to the maid that he's not in Judgment Day no more. That was months ago. This ain't March. We're in October. They're still talking about this. I don't know why. Jey Uso and Xavier Woods was decent, wasn't that good, but it was a decent match. He pinned Xavier Woods in his first IC title defense, and then immediately gets speared by Braun Breaker. Then he speared Kofi, then he pinned Xavier Woods. Now Braun Breaker's still a heel. The feud with him and Jay gonna continue. We know CM Punk came out for a little bit, said some words, saying he's gonna take some time off and heal up. He leaves. The refuser uncertain and comes face to face with Seth Rollins. You know they're teasing that and they're setting it up. I don't think it's gonna be at WrestleMania because I think that's too long. They could do it at Survivor Series because that's where it started. That's when CM Punk came back. He could wrestle at Survivor Series. Isn't that when Rollins was going at it with CM Punk when he came back? So they could do it there. Or we could see them in the Rumble. I don't think it'll be WrestleMania. I don't see that. I think Punk will win the Rumble and face someone like Cody Rhodes. Because Cody Rhodes needs a credible challenger. But anyway, Seth Rollins opened the show, came out. He wants to face Bronson Reed anytime, any place. Because those two are going to be feuding. Bronson Reed wasn't on the show. Damian Priest, the Jump, they wasn't on the show. This show was nothing. There was no Rhea minus Avon yet. Then we got Gunther and Sami Zayn.
Rematch with Gunther at WrestleMania. You keep him in the hunt. Do you put him on your short list of people to win the Royal Rumble?
Is that one way to go with Sami Zayn? If he wins the Rumble, he wins the Elimination Chamber, and he gets one more crack at it at WrestleMania, and he finally becomes World Heavyweight Champion. Or, maybe not. Maybe you involve him in some form with the Bloodline story. If Jey Uso is going to end up being involved in a War Games match, it's entirely possible that Sami Zayn can end up being involved in that same War Games. Right? You get Roman and Jimmy and Jey and Sami on one side. That is possible. But for Gunther now, we've got 4 weeks of build to a match with Cody. Brand against brand, champion against champion, with neither of their titles on the line, which is so exciting, right? You're two champions, and neither of their titles are on the line. This is one of the reasons why I can't sit here and tell you I'm enamored with them going back to this whole brand versus brand format. It's for bragging rights. Now they've created a new belt that really doesn't mean anything. But they've created a new championship now. And so they'll fight over this new belt that really doesn't mean much to protect them from losing either of the belts that they have, because you can't put them on the line, right? You can't put the world title on the line. You can't put the WWE championship on the line. So this is what we have now for the next 4 weeks. Building up to this, and then obviously on the women's side, as things currently stand, it's Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, which I have even less interest in seeing. Because that, as of this moment, is the match for the Crown Jewel title on the women's side. That is, of course, assuming that Nia Jax makes it to Crown Jewel as the champion. Don't forget, Charlotte Flair is lurking with her Charlotte in the bank. She could cash it in at any time. She could cash it in this Friday. She'll probably cash in before Tiffany Stratton does. Anything can happen between now and then, as far as the women's title goes. But yeah, this Raw was totally saved by that main event. I enjoyed the Donnie Brooke match. I thought the main event was excellent. Everything else on this show was completely 100% skippable. Thankfully, it was only 2 hours, so I don't feel like I wasted 3 hours of my life. I only wasted 2.5 hours of my life. But this was easily the worst Raw. In a string of what has largely been very good Raws, this was easily the worst that I have seen in months. Now, we're not talking 2019 levels, oh my God, the show was offensively bad. It just wasn't very good. And there were a lot of different reasons for it. Obviously, just the onslaught of commercials didn't help. Just the formatting, the pacing of the show, and the fact that there were some significant names missing. That takes away from the show. You put all those things together and you end up with the show that we had tonight. I certainly hope that they can get their shit together and there won't be a double taping in 2 weeks when they come back live, because next week is a tape show. And hopefully we'll get back to what Raw has been, which has largely been a quality television show and usually the best one all week. Hopefully they'll be able to get back to that. Tonight was not that. Wow, and I think this right here reflects it. This is the Twitter poll. When was the last time you can remember a Raw poll that looked this off? 36% thumbs up, 38% thumbs in the middle, 25% thumbs down. This is the worst Raw poll we've had in months. Brother. Hey, Fox Star Kelly, thanks. So yeah, this was a night to forget outside of that main event. No doubt about it.
It was in the aisleway, and then he gets back into the ring and speared Jey Uso one more time. You know, last week, we got a celebration of Jey Uso where he shook hands with Braun Breaker and there was no attack, no shenanigans. Braun Breaker shook his hand and left, and we didn't see Braun Breaker at all for the rest of the night. That was it. Babyface Braun Breaker. Looks like they're turning Braun Breaker babyface. Later in that show last week, he eyed Gunther and the World Heavyweight Championship, proclaiming to Gunther, I will be seeing you much sooner than you think. I'm like, all right, they're clearly moving Braun Breaker on to bigger and better things, fast-tracking him well past the IC title. So what the fuck was all that about? Only to turn around this week and have him smear Jey Uso, basically setting up a match for the IC title at Crown Jewel. That's exactly what we got here. So if Braun Breaker and Jey Uso is the plan for the Intercontinental Championship, it looks like all the predictions from many analysts is certainly going to become a reality. Looks like Jey Uso may be dropping that Intercontinental Championship in 3 weeks' time. And Braun Breaker will be, once again, a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Sure. Great job. Don't know why we took it off. I'm going to ask, I don't know why we took it off him in the first place. If this is going to be it for Jey Uso. 6 minutes. Let's put the title on him. Let's give him the feel-good moment. Let's have him celebrate. Everybody's going to eat. First title defense. 2 minutes. 4 minutes of it was in the commercial. Awful. So we got 2 storylines playing out here. Breaker wants the IC title. He picked it up. He threw it on Jey Uso. Obviously, he wants it back. Is he a heel? I wouldn't say he's a heel. I mean, people are barking at Braun Breaker for sure every week, more and more. So he's a tweener. He's going to get his boos. He's going to get his cheers. People love Braun Breaker because of how vicious and how intense he is. So we got that. And then we got Xavier Woods still not giving a fuck about anybody. Not even Kofi. So 2 storylines are playing out. But 6 minutes for Jey Uso? Absolutely nothing to open the show. There was a Rhea Ripley pre-taped promo. She said Liv Morgan proved she can't beat her by herself. She talked about Liv's alliance with Raquel Rodriguez. She said she just assured herself another beating and is delaying the inevitable. And she said she will definitely need Raquel. So I'm assuming that we're going to get Raquel versus Rhea Ripley at some point. Have her go through Raquel. Apparently Raquel Rodriguez is teasing a Judgment Day inclusion now that she's a part of the Judgment Day. Nothing was really made, confirmed. Nothing was confirmed tonight at all, but it looks like she is aligned with the Judgment Day, and it looks like Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez are going to be headed towards a one-on-one match. Survivor Series is coming up. We're not going to do the title match at Survivor Series. I'm assuming that she's either going to drop the title at the Royal Rumble or at Saturday night's main event. Which I already feel like this storyline between Liv and Rhea is already kind of running on, I don't want to say it's running on empty yet, but it's certainly running out of gas. So I'm assuming Saturday night's main event, I think that probably is the best place for it. And then Rhea can start whatever she's got going on, going into the Royal Rumble, and start her program for WrestleMania season. You can't continue this past 2025. You can't. I know there'll be some people out there, these Liv Morgan fucking fanatics. Oh, she deserves to defend the championship and walk into WrestleMania as the champion. Yeah, good luck getting this story all the way there. How much do you expect WWE to give us out of all this? They've extended most of their story. There isn't much left. it's now nearing the end. Rhea is getting her title back. When and where, I don't know, but it certainly needs to be within the next 2 months. Easy. What does Liv and Rhea do at Survivor Series? The only thing I can possibly think of is a War Games match between Team Rhea and Team Liv. Who's on that team? I don't know. Whatever you saw tonight is what's going to be. You're going to get Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Pure Insomnia Collective against Rhea Ripley, Casey Catanzaro, Kaden Carter, Bird Girl, and Zelina Vega in a women's War Games match. That is your women's War Games. Book it, clip it, mark it down. That is your women's War Games. They're just going to combine all of this into one match, and then Liv and Rhea are going to, I guess, whoever, if Rhea wins War Games, she'll get her championship match at Saturday night's main event. And then we can say goodbye. I don't want to tell you I told you so, but I'm going to give it to you early. I told you so, because that's exactly where they're going. You expect WWE to not do it? First of all, I want to make this absolutely, perfectly, 100% abundantly clear. There doesn't need to be a women's War Games match this year. You don't need a women's War Games match. Fuck the narrative of having a men and a women's match because you need to do it. You don't need to do anything because it doesn't fit it. It doesn't call for it. If it did, I have no problem with a women's War Games. You think that feud right now with what's going on with the women on Monday Night Raw deserve a War Games match? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. Mental. No. You'd be lucky if you did it on the fucking PLE.
The reason why I was
Never
so
mind a
fucking
fucking War
quiet,
Games
the
match.
funny thing, because the story
that's
is
what
so
they're
huge,
going
they
to
don't
do.
care what anything.
Because whatever the
They
men gotta
cry
do,
shit
the
for
women
a
gotta do
fucking
the
man.
same thing.
You don't want to move forward. Thank you.
Just like you didn't need 2 women's matches at Bad Blood, and they only put 2 women's matches on the card so that it evens out with the men. You only needed 1 women's match. The most important women's match gets on the show. The other one you do on SmackDown. Not everything needs to be on equal level. What's most important? Just like this narrative that Triple H
Because
is
every pay-per-view, that's the
misrepresenting
crazy that we keep
the
getting.
black
Every
talent.
pay-per-view, the crowd, we're doing mess.
Why is there a misrepresentation of black talent in WWE on PLEs? Well, maybe let's not give people something that you think they deserve, that's something, and maybe let's have them earn it. How about that? That would be like me saying, or that's basically these people saying, hey man, let's make Carmelo Hayes the WWE champion. Basically what they're saying. He'll get there, and when he does, he will have earned it. That's like me saying, yeah, let me get Apollo Crews on the pay-per-view, man. What the fuck has he done in 5 years? Are we just going to give these people, are we going to give these athletes, these men and women, something because you want it? Or should we give them something because they've earned it? They've showed us they worked and earned it. No, but everything's got to be made into a racial thing, and everybody's got to be engagement farming on social media, and everybody's got to fucking cause chaos on social media because you need to feel important in front of strangers. Meanwhile, Jey Uso is a person of color. He's the Intercontinental Champion. Obafemi is a person of color. He's the North American Champion. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are the tag team champions. Carmelo is killing it on Friday night.
Man,
What more do you want? What more do you want? Don't understand it. These statistics, they get swept under the rug. They get swept under the rug. They get swept under the rug by social media, man. The merchants on social media, the fucking engagement merchants on social media. Nobody cares. The New Day hold the record for the longest reigning tag team champions in company history. The Usos do. The Usos beat the New Day. Two teams of color. Nobody wants to engage in that discussion, though, right? Obafemi just eclipsed the longest reigning North American champion in NXT history. Do you know who's held that title? No, but that's not a discussion that social media wants to engage in. Kalani Jordan is the North American champion. Thank you, TK Banks. Another woman of color. Nah, we won't get into that discussion. Oh, but Shawn Michaels books NXT, not Triple H. If you don't think that they go back and forth and discuss what needs to be done, if you don't think Triple H has his hand in NXT as well,
Well, might as well just end the video. Think I made it long enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I showed you all the podcasters. I already talked about the show. I showed all the matches and all the segments. So, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Tomorrow we do have NXT on tomorrow. SmackDown this Friday. Alright. I will see y'all later.